So talking about hidden beauty of wood, this is some rosewood. That's a South American wood. It's extremely hard. Hardly needs any kind of finish at all. The natural oils in that make it even hard and difficult to finish. But we're looking here, this is where it's grayed out. Then we see coming off the planer. Now here's some that was sanded. This is this same wood. We're just bringing it through from here to here. Okay, so grade goes on the planer, we sand it, 80 grit, 120, 100, 120. There's 2 coats of Waterlox on this now, and you can see a sheen developing already on this wood. So we're not going to need much more Waterlox. We might take a small Scotch-Brite and hit this a little bit in case there's any little dust and stuff. We did these outside. We'll hit that with a little bit of abrasive, maybe 320. And we'll put a very thin final coat, and this will be a work of art, just a simple piece of wood. Here's a piece we actually finished. This is also the same rosewood. We made these into some little wooden samples, and you can see the texture, still some saw cuts visible in that. But yet, look at that finish. And the nice thing to know about this finish is no sanding required to recoat it. And so it's just a hardening oil. It almost looks like a lacquer, like a hand-polished lacquer, maybe like a, I don't know, a buffed oil finish. Now, if this is too shiny, we can always look at the satin sheen, and you have an option to choose a final coat in the satin Waterlox, and that'll give, I don't think, we may have an example here. Right here's a couple pieces that do have the satin, and again, we're trying to show this on camera. It's kind of hard. Lighting and everything, you just need to get the wood samples in your hand. Here's the satin finish. I'll just try to hold a couple angles, and so you can see it's a low matte, not quite matte finish, but very low gloss. Again, on the rosewood. We just made these little breadboards out of these scraps of wood. Just making some scrap wood pretty. Here's another interesting little piece. This is just a saw cut, I think, from cutting firewood, and somebody picked that up and said, let's put some Waterlox on it, and of course it does. You look at that up close. I don't know, Anthony, if you can see that, where it pops this natural color out. It's not covering the texture of the saw cuts, and this is, again, just a little, I don't know, kind of a work of art. You could use it as a hot pan holder, or sit it as a serving. It's wood art. This is kind of the bark on the edge, and of course, this is consolidated. We've even got some of the fungus and mold from the, this is wood rescue. This is rescued firewood. But the Waterlox kind of hardens and consolidates everything. It's certainly, in this respect, we're using Waterlox for the beauty on this wood. But on most projects, when we're talking about hardwood floors, and we've got some various species of wood that is typically used for hardwood floors. We've got some oak, we've got some chestnut, we've got mahogany, Brazilian cherry, we got some walnut and pine. So we've put a first coat of Waterlox on some of these pieces. We've got a second coat on some pieces. And what we're trying to show is this is not a typical wood finish. Waterlox is a hardening oil. So we're just oiling the wood. And Anthony, if you look up close right here, you can see where the Waterlox kind of just wicks out. It's not a hard edge finish like a polyurethane. You would actually feel an edge here. This is just a hardening oil. 3 coats on hardwood, 4 coats on softwood. Softwood being Doug fir, pine, American cherry. But if you've got oak, chestnut, walnut, any of the exotic South American woods, it's 3 coats of just the original sealer finish. This would be your one single product you would use. So if you were doing new floors in a house, 3 coats of this on the harder woods, 4 coats on the softer woods. If you want a lower sheen, you can just keep it simple and do one product, which is our recommendation. We do have the Waterlox available at PaintSource.net on our website. We've been shipping Waterlox for about 10 years, trying to introduce people to the Waterlox. Part of our passion about this product is the customers that we've sold over the years. I need to get the gallons, but it's 30 or 50,000 gallons or something. There's not a person we have sold Waterlox to over the years and shipped to them that will ever allow polyurethane in their house. That's the simplest statement I can make. There's a lot of information out there that can help you reach that conclusion, but I still see this not as the #1 choice among homeowners, because they're allowing a contractor to make the choice, they're allowing a builder to make the choice, they're allowing marketing influence to make the choice. This has been around for 100 years. We have homeowners who have cabins, rental cabins, dance floors, restaurant tabletops. Once they start with the Waterlox, they stay with the Waterlox because the ease of rejuvenation. When it's time to rejuvenate the Waterlox, to put a new coat on, to cover up scratches, we clean the surface. If we've used just the sealer finish, not the satin, if we've used just the sealer finish can be used as a wipe-on finish. With a lint-free microfiber cloth, I can put a brand new surface on my table, my wooden countertop, or my wood floors. So instead of having to hire a sanding crew to come in and sand your floors, where they have the polyurethane that has to be sanded, polyurethane must be sanded to be recoated once it needs its maintenance. Waterlox never needs sanded. You never want to sand it unless it was just really, really abused. You might do a light sanding and put another single coat of Waterlox. This is the easiest way to keep your floors looking the best, showing the most character of the wood, the most waterproof, the most beautiful, and the least amount of work and the least amount of money out of your pocket, whether it's your big house, whether it's your mountain house, whether it's your shack down by the creek.